When you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins, that's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever Podcast.
Well, hey, good morning. Super excited to be introducing my business partner. I've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now, Dustin. We want to be putting on this big announcement on Financial Freedom Forever, our podcast, that we have Mr. Dustin Nulf from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's just joined us. Welcome to the podcast, Dustin.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for jumping on today. Just going to give you just a little information here, and then we'll have you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, and guys, we're in for a treat today. Dustin's been an entrepreneur and an investor for many, many years, owns dozens of rental units, oversees over 300 units in his portfolio. He's got a team of at least 15, maybe more. We'll find out here in a minute. I think he employs like 24 people in his company. Big entrepreneur and real estate agent here in Pittsburgh, and excited to have him part of our EXP family. But welcome, Dustin, and tell us your story. Let's jump right in.
Sure. So I got licensed at the end of 2007. That's when I was really focused on, creating a business that I could own and profit from. And I liked real estate. I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, of course, and saw the potential income of it, and also saw that I could get in with very little overhead. And I got licensed at the end of 2007, hung my license with a broker at the beginning of 2008. And then the market crashed, and my family and friends are like, "What are you doing, man? Like, you're getting into real estate and this real estate bubble just burst. Why are you doing this right now?" And in my mind, and what I told them was, if I can make it now, I can make it in any market.
Right.
And, I got in and I struggled, but my idea was that I wanted to be a real estate investor. And I also saw the potential of real estate sales, and, focused on investing first, ran out of money. How do you make more money? Well, let's sell more real estate. And, I got good at selling real estate. I enjoyed it. I ended up leaving my first brokerage as the top listing agent. And, I ended up joining Keller Williams at that time and started building a real estate team. And, one thing led to another. And I now have a property management company. I have a real estate sales team, and I own 21 rental units.
Fantastic. So how many people on your current real estate team?
The real estate sales team, we have at least 15 agents, and then we have 2 full-time admins. Okay. And then the property management company, we have at least 13 employees, not counting myself.
All right, fantastic. And what's your projection of what your business is going to look like for real estate wise? How many units have you guys been doing this this past year, and where do you think you're going to be at the end of 2022?
So 2021, we sold 131 units, and it was only about $21 million in sales. We do still deal with a lot of investor deals, so we've got that a little bit of a lower price point.
Sure.
It's looking like we're going to be over 30 million this year. So as we add agents, we are adding experienced producing agents to the team who are coming in, hitting the ground running. We've got a guy that just joined us a couple of weeks ago. He already has 2 deals under contract. So nice. It's looking like it's going to be a good 2022 for sure.
All right, fantastic. I want to welcome all our Financial Freedom Forever Facebook people who joined us here. David O'Connor, hi. Billy, Frank, thanks for joining us today. Hey, if you guys have any questions for Dustin, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll go ahead and ask them. But how did you hear, Dustin, about EXP? How long ago it was, and what was your due diligence period? What did that look like? I mean, you've been, like you said, your own entrepreneur and business owner yourself. What would make you really look at EXP?
Yeah. So EXP was first brought to me at least 6 years ago, I would say.
Oh, wow.
I think there was only maybe under 2,000 agents at EXP at that time.
Yeah.
So it was a relatively new thing. And, when the model was explained to me, I was, I questioned it. I was very skeptical. I'm always a skeptical person, especially before I would make any sort of move with my businesses. And, I didn't really understand it at the time. And I was, pretty well established with Keller Williams at that time. So my due diligence period with EXP was at least 6 years. I thought about it. I looked into it. I talked to numerous people. I had a lot of people that were trying to be my sponsor. So the information was out there, but it really, nobody was bringing it to me and presenting it like a business person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a business person. I'm looking at it from that perspective, which is a little bit different than maybe a regular individual agent or solo agent. And nobody presented it to me in that way. And therefore, that I think that's part of the reason why it took so long.
Yeah.
And, I was fortunate enough. I've been friends with Gary Wilson for a while. Gary Wilson approached me and said, "Hey, this is what I did, and this is what I'm doing now. I think you could do this. Like, I think this is something that would help your business. Can you take a look at it with me?" And, us being on that same wavelength, I think really, really helped make my mind up. And the thing is even after the 6 years of due diligence, I spent a year talking with Gary off and on before I actually made the decision to move my company to EXP.
Well, it's a big deal, right? I mean, nobody likes changing companies, and if you're comfortable and happy where you're at, you're not even looking. But when someone that you know and respect brings it in a way that makes sense to you, then you really start digging into it and doing the math, right? What were the top one or two things that Gary brought to your attention and that really had you take the deep dive and take a look at it to make such a big move?
Yeah, I think, for me, obviously for everyone, it's going to be something different. We're not all going to have the same thought process, but EXP has a lot of good stuff going on. For me, the important thing was ownership, the ability to own a piece of the company and be rewarded for my activities that created that ownership. And also the ability for me to grow my business beyond just the borders of, say, Pennsylvania or whatever I was confined to. So I was looking at the time at creating my own independent brokerage and had a model where I'm going to build this thing from the ground up. And then I started thinking of beyond Pennsylvania. I'm licensed in Pennsylvania, but if I wanted to move into a different state, then I'd have to get licensed there. I'd have to get a brokerage there. I'd have to pay for the brick and mortar and all that sort of stuff. And, finally thinking it over, it was just like, man, I can plug into EXP and get all of the rewards without all the overhead.
Right.
So that was the big thing. And then the stock options, getting stock for just doing my job, like doing what I normally do on a daily basis. I wasn't getting that from where I was. I wasn't, I'm not going to be able to join another brokerage and get that sort of ownership.
Right. That's fantastic. So let me ask you, what was the most difficult part of being, a broker owner and a team leader where you were before, and how's that changed over here at EXP? What problems did EXP solve for you that you may or may not even known that you had?
Yeah, I think, while money is always one of those problems, right? The more money you make, the more problems you have. So, looking at it that way, even moving from what I would consider a relatively similar model I moved from Keller Williams to EXP, and I will make, even if I don't increase my volume this year, I will make more money. I will net more profit. So that's always the first thing that I look at is, is it going to make financial sense to make that move? But the ability also to grow my team beyond the borders of just the state that I'm in and do it without having to deal with, bureaucracy or different ownership or different culture, different ideas on how to do that. Like, EXP already has, this is the way it works. If you want to do it, do it. And I really, that was probably the big thing.
All right, great. And being with EXP, another huge benefit is you can start being in these multiple states. And if you, as an agent, are licensed in multiple states, I know at KW you have more than one cap, right? You'll have a cap for each state that you're in. And
well, yeah, EXP, you got to negotiate. If you want to expand, then you've got to negotiate with every single individual market center because it's not under, not really under the same umbrella. It's a franchise. It's all individually owned.
Right.
And if you want a piece of ownership in KW, then you have to rub elbows with the right people and be at the right time at the right place. And, after 10 years of me doing that, I still had zero ownership, but now, at EXP, I'm already earning ownership immediately. And I wish I would have joined 6 years ago because I'd have a whole hell of a lot of ownership.
Yeah, that's I understand that for sure. What surprised you most about EXP? What were you not really expecting? What surprised you the most? Is better than what you thought it might be being a cloud-based company. What's your first thought that comes to mind?
Well, I think that what we get, through the upline, I did not expect that. That was just kind of like icing on the cake to me. The fact that, we get access to all of these different trainings and programs that are available. I think there's 4 or 5 a week that I can just tune into at any given time. And we're talking about, people who have run big teams, people who have sold 300, 400 transactions a year that are teaching you how they did it. And, if you're in this upline, you get it, it's there and you just plug into it. And I wasn't expecting that. And the fact that everybody is so helpful and open about it, that would be the icing on the cake for me that I wasn't, anticipating.
We are one of the fastest growing groups within the entire company. And that is a huge part of it. You add all our years up together, their senior business partners are above us, that all get paid, not by us, but by the company to help us be successful. I think we have like 150 years worth of real estate experience or more. But yeah, we have people like, your sponsor, Gary Wilson. he's a big guy, man. He's a big dog in Keller Williams in the past, and had his own coaching, or has his own coaching company that with investors, right? Helping investors invest themselves and how to attract investors. So you have his knowledge and experience, and he's a good friend of mine now. I didn't really even know him before he got plugged into our network. I think maybe met him once. But now we're becoming close friends. And then, of course, with Jay Kinder and Michael Reese and Al Stasik, they own NAEA, right? The National Association of Expert Advisors. It costs like $25,000 a year to get coaching from them and have access to all their systems. And they just give it all to us for free because we're business partners, right? And I think that's just a huge benefit. To be able to have access to those guys. When we have their calendars, I don't know if you just jumped into the company here. It hasn't been too long yet, so you might not have had time to even jump into their calendars yet, but you get access to their physical daily calendars where you can jump in and ask any questions that you want and have a 20-30 minute conversation at absolutely no cost.
I think that's great. And if you're an agent that's looking to, excel, those are the agents that are going to get the most out of that. It's not necessarily for your average agent. It is for the agents that want to improve their business and want to tap into that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, EXP is not perfect for everyone. I mean, it's got to be a good fit. I found if you're comfortable and you don't want to go to the next level, I believe, the good Lord put us on this earth to do big things, and I believe the people that you hang around on a daily basis, they, especially if you're doing 10, 20 times more business than you, they bring you up. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that at some point, if you've been a real estate agent long enough and you worked hard enough, at some point your mind goes from, active income, to passive income. Now, being an investor, I'm sure you've been looking at passive income way, before you probably even got your real estate license, right?
Yep.
And that's a big deal. Now, with your personal, let's talk about your team. Are you looking to expand your personal team of 15 right there in Pittsburgh? We know you want to go global, like a lot of us are, and that's one of the big reasons you just mentioned. But your personal team, if there's anyone watching today that's a new agent, or maybe they're an agent with 5-10 years worth of experience, what kind of agent are you looking for, and can they reach out to you and just call you and maybe have an interview or have a conversation with you to find out what it would be like?
Yeah, I mean, we're always open for talent, whether it's a brand new agent or an experienced agent. The big thing that we're looking for is learning-based agents who are motivated to hit that next level and break through their ceiling. I think being in this business long enough, we've both seen those agents that just kind of plateau and they get comfortable with whatever their ceiling is, and they don't really look to excel beyond that. And, we've got agents right now on my team that are learning to build a team within the team. And, I'm coaching and training them because I want to see them bringing in the same numbers that we're bringing in. And I want to see them build those businesses where they've got at least partially passive income coming in. And that's a big thing for me is I get joy out of helping people achieve more. So, if that's the mindset that a particular agent has and they're up for gaining that mentorship and coaching, whether it's in Pittsburgh or not, we would be more than happy to talk to them.
Fantastic. I know that must have been one of the big selling points for you as well. I know when I had my partner and I had our own independent brokerage, we bring on agents, some are brand new, and you got them from selling nothing to 3, 4, 5 homes a month. It took 3 or 4 or 5 years sometimes to coach them up to that point. And then, hey, they're entrepreneur minded. They got a good business going now, and they kind of want to do what you did, and they leave your team and then go start their own company or start their own team. But within this EXP model, it's set up so some of them might start, on your team. Once you get them to the level that they want to start building their own, instead of them having to leave and start their own deal, they can stay within. They can leave your team and start their own team, but they have all the platform and your support, coaching and training to help them, because you actually want them to do bigger and better things than you do, and you get compensated from the company for helping people achieve that, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's a big deal. What other big takeaways have you taken from being in the company for a short period of time? What other thoughts would you want to share with people that are, like yourself? They've probably heard about EXP by now. Most people, you've probably been living under a rock if you haven't heard about it by now. And if you've been an agent with doing a decent amount of business, you've probably gotten called 2 or 3 times from other EXP agents that are, like you said, you got, people have reached out to you several times, but they didn't really explain it in a way like you needed to hear it as a business person. If there's anyone out there listening today that's like yourself, business minded, has their own brokerage, or out of franchise, they're doing well, but they want to get to the next level, what would you say to them so they can take a deeper look?
Well, I was just telling an agent this yesterday. Gary Keller in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book said that, if you want success, you need to build yourself a 4-lane highway to success and not a cart path, right? So you want your highway to be bigger than you are. So as you grow, you fill that space, right? And the funny thing is that Gary Keller's quote is what made my mind up to move to this company. I think that EXP is the future of real estate. And, the people that follow me and know me, they know that I'm into cryptocurrency and blockchain. And the big thing right now is metaverse. Everybody's talking about metaverse. EXP is, EXP has had that for 10 years. So, and back then I didn't see it, but after COVID, these days, EXP world is ingenious. So I think that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here that's well advanced, well forward thinking, and that's really like the big picture is what brought me here. It wasn't just one thing; it was all these little details that added up.
Yeah, once you add them all up, I just tell people, hey, just do your due diligence, spend some time, and do the math, right? Just put pencil to paper and do the math. And it's not just percentages and that it's you gotta add in the stocks and the group health insurance that we have access to, and the iBuyer program, and there's so many pieces to the puzzle. Once you really do the math on each thing and what that can bring to you or to your team members, I know it can be life-changing for sure.
Yeah.
Dustin, if there was one takeaway that you want to make sure that anyone listening today, a close friend of yours or someone that you have done real estate deals in the past, what would you want to make sure that they understood and took away from our talk today?
Having an open mind. I approached it with an open mind, and yes, it did take me 6 years of due diligence and questions and meetings to make that decision. But the idea that you've got to have that open mind and be looking at the big picture, and how all those little parts add up to the potential future. A lot of us have these big visions for what our business should look like. But we live in like the now. Right. We've got to look forward 10 years, and we need to be in, the right, with the right people around us for that 10-year vision to come true. You don't want to be hanging around with people that are meeting the standards of today. You want to hang out with the people that meet the standards of your 10-year goal.
Now that's, I love that. Now, would you mind sharing what is your vision for your company, and what is your 10-year goal? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, my 10-year goal is that I'm not actively, involved in like running. Like, I don't want to be working in the business. I want to be working on the businesses. Right. And I'm pretty close to that now. But the vision would be that we have a national team, and we've got agents in all 50 states. And, we've got a relatively solid downline built. And I've got agents that are out there, building a bigger business than I have right now. I would love to have agents on our team who have, their own rental properties, who are running their own sales team and closing 150, 160 units a year. I want to help people hit that level. And, I don't have a set number on it just yet, but, to know that I've got people in every state doing that would be great.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna reach any goals that you put your mind to, Dustin. That's for sure. I mean, you got a great business now, and bring that over, and being able to partner up with people like Gary and myself and Jay Kinder and NAEA. We're all together in this. Our goal is your goal. I know we're in about 27, 28 states now. My goal is the same, to be in all 50. I have someone from Alaska that's I believe they're going to be joining us soon. Talks have been pretty good. I got a friend from Colorado. that I talked to 2 years ago and kept in touch with them. But like yourself, it takes time. It's all about timing. It's about getting the right information, and they're going to be joining us as well. So I'm excited to see what you guys build, and we're here to help you build it.
Great, man. And I appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah. My last question, if you could join EXP all over again, what would you do differently?
I would have joined 6 years ago. I mean, the amount of money, the amount of stock that I don't have right now that I should have had I done it, that would have been life-changing. And I do see that, in 5 years, because I started now, it will still be life-changing. So I would have just done it earlier.
All right. Well, it's definitely not too late. Anyone that's out there that's been thinking about it or want to take a deeper dive. I mean, when I got plugged in it'll be 3 years in February already. The stock was like $8.15. Today, I haven't looked today, but this week it's been around the $30, give or take. And that's after the 2-for-1 stock split that we had, right? Like 4, 5, 6 months ago, we had a stock price went up so high that the company wanted to bring it down for investors, and it split. And we were only in, when I got plugged in, we were only in, we're all 50 states, 3 provinces of Canada, and 2 other countries. Now we're in 9 provinces of Canada and 19 countries. And I heard yesterday we just hit 73,000 agents. We were only at 15 or 16,000 when I got plugged in just less than 3 years ago. That's some amazing growth, and we continue to double. So I'm excited for the future as well. One last question before we sign off. I always like to ask people, if you're a reader, what's your best inspirational book that you would love, or if you're a movie watcher, what's the name of your favorite all-time movie?
Oh man. I mean, I think the book would be, I always say Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you haven't read it. It's a simple read. It's so fast to get through. It's an easy read. And Robert Kiyosaki is so good at making, these big ideas simple to digest. Right. And then I got to say, movie wise, Tombstone is my favorite movie of all time. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Dustin, for joining us today. Super excited to make the announcement that you're are part of our EXP Global Network, and looking forward to helping you reach your goals.
Awesome, man. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Well,